Hello everyone, it's Jamarl Thomas. Welcome to the Progressive Soapbox. I hope everyone is doing okay this morning. I have an interesting story that I'm going to give, or that I'm going to do. It's drama that's taking place right now, international drama that's taking place right now between two of our allies. One of which we've been having somewhat of a kerfuffle with, dealing with interest rates, and I've called it sanctions, but technically it's using, technically it's the president essentially punishing Turkey for what he considered to be its transgressions. Now, that's it. That's kind of besides the point. But a real life drama that's taking place right now that's actually pretty damn interesting. At the very least, it caught my interest and interest enough to do this story. This guy. That's Jamal Khashoggi, or Khashoggi. I may be pronouncing it wrong, and I apologize if I am. Jamal Khashoggi has gone missing. The last picture that we have of him is here. This is the last instance of his existence that we are aware of that is caught on public record. The last instance, potentially, of this man's life. Here's why the story is interesting. He's walking into a Saudi Arabia consulate. Now, he used to be friends with members of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. At some point, people that were associated with him started to get arrested, in which case he decided it was better time that he leave. He moved to the United States and started to write columns for the Washington Post. In writing columns for the Washington Post, some of those columns, many of those columns, were critical of the Saudi regime. The fact that you have one person essentially ruling a country and the problems associated with one person ruling a country, saying that it will go bad. Now, this is comical to me because it was already bad. You're crucifying people. You're chopping off heads and hands. This has already gone bad. You're spreading terrorism all throughout the region of the world. This has already gone bad. It's not a situation that it could get bad. It was already bad. It was bad enough where he feared for his life. This is where it gets interesting, though, because you can say, why the hell is he gone into a Saudi consulate when he knows that these people are ruthless and bloodthirsty? Love. He fell in love. This is awesome. Not that he died, but just, I always say women are a moderating force on men, but at the same token, if a guy really digs a woman, he's willing to do some pretty harrowing things in order to make this work. So, in his case, he needed proof because he wanted to marry a Turkish woman. Now, in wanting to marry this Turkish woman, in order to make this marriage work, he got his father's approval, her father's approval, her father approved, her father had issues. Yes, this is a real drama. I love it. Not the ending of this, or at the very least, not how this is processing, but this part. Because I can see this. I can totally see this. This is within the experience of any man that has loved any particular woman. And I know my wife has said you have a tendency to be overdramatic. I am the person who watched True Blood, and at the very last scene where Bill killed himself was overwhelmed with sadness at the idea that this man who was willing to murder everybody in the town to keep this woman safe was also willing to kill himself so she can have a decent life. Oh, I love that. I love it. I love it. But in this case, this is a human male who, with all the frailties and weaknesses of a human being, he falls in love with a woman. And he gets her father's permission. One more thing. He needs to get proof from the Saudi consulate that he doesn't have the previous wife. He's scared. That scared him. Apparently he went once, and they told him to come back, and he went back. Now, the second time he goes back, his wife goes with him. Both go to the consulate. The last picture of his existence in the physical matter reality that we are aware of right Here. She waits. She waits. And she waits. And she gets to the point where she realizes, wait a minute, the consulate is about to close. Where's my husband? Where's Jamal? Where's Jamal? I've been waiting right here the entire time. Where is Jamal? In which case she's told there's nobody here. There's nobody here. I don't know what you're talking about. There's nobody here. What do you mean there's nobody here? I came here with him. What do you mean there's nobody here? Where is Jamal? And you can imagine what's taking place from the standpoint of a human being. What would take place in the mind of any person? And drilling down from this idea of a person to a woman with a man that she loves, where she knows that he went into that particular building and somebody is telling him that there is nobody in this particular building. And the operative question is, where is he? Where is he? He told her, if I don't come back out this building, and if anything happens to me, contact this gentleman who's close to Erdogan. Now, the fact that he has pulled to do that is in and of itself pretty impressive. If my black ass got locked up in any of these countries, I don't think I would have Donald Trump on speed dial, let alone have any level of pull with the president or even the butler of the president, let alone the president himself. But he did. He had pull. Saudi Arabia says he left out the back door. He left out the back door. Turkey comes back and says, well, no, he didn't leave out the back door. You had 15 Saudis who got off an airplane with the point of killing him and taking his body out in a black bag. That's what Turkey said. Turkey didn't dick around. They were very clear in what they think happened in this. We think he was whacked, he was murdered because he was a critic of the Saudi government. And in whacking and murdering him, you took his body out in a bag. And now you're saying you have no idea what happened. Now, she's holding up hope that he's alive. I'm sorry. I don't think he is. I'm more inclined to believe that if Turkey is being that specific, Turkey may know something. Turkey is essentially putting pressure to go in and do the inspection themselves. They're trying to get, well, they've gotten it, approval to go in to essentially inspect that consulate themselves. This would be a remarkable display of hubris on the part of Saudi Arabia of what Turkey's saying is accurate. I mean, after all, you're talking about killing somebody in cold blood, killing somebody, mind you, with, I know this may not seem like a big deal, but with over 1 million followers on Twitter. Like, this is not a random shop owner that nobody knows. This guy is well known and well connected. And it's possible that the Saudis whacked him anyway. This is a remarkable display of hubris by Saudi Arabia if Saudi Arabia did in fact kill him. And I would not be shocked by it at all to believe that a regime that chops off heads, chops off hands, and crucifies and has the United States essentially on speed dial would take this extra step to murder a critic. Let's look at the story real quick, just in case I want to make sure I haven't missed any details on this. Let's see, they took DNA samples, yes. Again, he left Saudi Arabia himself and was working out of for the Washington Post. By the way, Trump administration seems less bothered by this than the Turkish government. Because after all, he was going to marry a Turkish woman and settle down in Istanbul. And from the standpoint of Turkey, this is an international incident. You just murdered somebody who was in association with one of our citizens. The United States has been more, meh. They're saying that they want an investigation. Why do you want an investigation? An investigation by who? You want the Saudis to conduct their own investigation, just like the investigations they conducted when they bombed that bus full of school kids? Yeah, I think we can do better than that. And in fact, Turkey is going through and trying to figure out what happened. The wild part about this is, if you find anything, the first thought is, well, I mean, the guy was here. Now the catch becomes, do you find anything that's out of the ordinary? And we're supposed to believe that they haven't scrubbed that place down. Either way, Turkey is looking at this as something real and significant. That's what it seems like. I could be wrong. There could be more to it, but that's what it comes across as. Let's see. Somebody says, "Are we surprised?" No, we are not. We are not surprised in the least. No, we're not. No, we're not. All right. This one is not going to be long. This one is just, I thought this was an interesting drama that was taking place right now. Literally right now. This story is a few hours old. Not the killing, the potential killing. That's been going on for a few days, for like a week. But the assertion of Turkey in this has been going on almost like a press for the last several hours. I'll follow the story. We'll see what comes out. Thanks all. If you enjoy the content, please feel free to share, like, subscribe. You can always support through Patreon. All right, guys. And one thing, let me make sure. Okay. Good. Haven't seen anything. Lost anything. All right, guys. Y'all have a good one.